The email sat in my deleted folder for 3 years. I never had the heart to permanently erase it, maybe because some sick part of me needed proof that I wasn't crazy, that my parents really did discuss cutting me off as casually as writing off a bad investment. My name is Mia, and I'm what my mother Charlotte loves to call the family embarrassment when she thinks I can't hear her. The email thread was straight to the point. We can't waste resources on her online degree fantasy. Dalton needs the investment more. His future actually matters. I was 18 when they dropped that bomb. Now, at 24, I've finally finished my information systems degree while working 2 jobs. The irony? I graduated with honours, not that anyone in my family noticed or cared. My phone buzzed with a text from my mother. Dalton's graduation celebration is next Saturday. It's really about him. Hope you're not expecting fanfare. No formal invitation, of course. I was stacking shelves at my retail job when my cousin Wendy called. "Hey, you're coming to Dee's party, right?" "Wasn't exactly invited," I said, balancing my phone while organising clearance items. "Oh, please, you have to come. It'll be weird if you're not there. Plus, I need someone normal to talk to," I snorted. Normal? That's a first. Usually I'm the black sheep who's throwing her life away on a fake degree. "They're just traditional," Wendy offered weakly. "You know how Aunt Charlotte gets about appearances. Traditional enough to start a GoFundMe for Dalton's sailing hobby last year, because apparently his trust fund wasn't enough." "Mia, sorry, just tired." I wasn't sorry at all. "Look, I've got to go. My break's over." Later that night, my second job as a virtual assistant kept me up until 2 a.m. My phone lit up with a notification. Dalton had posted yet another Instagram story. There he was, champagne in hand, caption reading, "Pre-graduation celebrations with the people who matter most." The photos showed my parents beaming, various family friends, even Wendy. I zoomed in on the background of one shot. There was a banner that read, "Our greatest achievement." My hands shook as I opened my laptop and clicked into that cursed deleted folder again. The email thread was longer than I remembered. "Victor, we need to discuss Mia's situation. She's refusing Stanford and talking about some online program. This isn't what we raised her for." Agreed. Dalton needs the extra support for his MBA applications anyway. Better to cut our losses now. "I'll move her college fund to the LLC tomorrow. She can learn independence if that's what she wants so badly." My co-worker Emerson found me crying in the break room the next day. She's been more of a mother to me in the past few years than Charlotte ever was. "They're having another party for him," I managed between sobs. "A huge community thing. Everyone will be there." "And you're going," Emerson stated firmly, handing me a tissue. I looked up, surprised. "What? You're going? You're going to show up looking amazing, and you're going to smile, and you're going to remember something important." She squeezed my shoulder. "You survived without them. You succeeded without them. And that kills them more than anything else could." My phone buzzed again. Another text from my mother. "If you do come Saturday, please dress appropriately. No scenes." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I opened my laptop again, but this time I didn't go to the deleted folder. Instead, I opened a new document and started typing. Evidence file, number 1, financial manipulation and emotional abuse. Emerson was right. I would go to the party. But I had 6 years of receipts they never expected me to keep. 6 years of recordings, screenshots, and proof that would shatter their precious appearance. Wendy called again that night. "They're getting a projection screen for a slideshow of Dalton's achievements. Mum said you should see some of the photos they picked. He looks amazing in all of them." I thought about my graduation photos, taken by Emerson in my $30 dress from Target. No family present, no celebration. Just me, my diploma, and the strength they never thought I had. "Don't worry," I told Wendy, my voice steady. "I'll be there. and I've got some slides of my own to share. The party was exactly what I expected. A Pinterest board come to life with enough fairy lights to guide planes and champagne fountains that probably cost more than my monthly rent. I stood by the dessert table, watching guests fawn over my brother like he'd just discovered the cure for cancer instead of completing a degree Daddy's money bought. "Mia!" Wendy's voice was too bright, too forced. "You actually came, and you look nice." The pause before nice said everything. My simple black dress from H&M probably cost less than the appetizers. "Thanks," I said, taking a sip of champagne. "Wouldn't miss it. Just try to have fun, okay? Don't make it about me," I finished for her. "Don't worry, cousin. I know my role." The projection screen flickered to life, showing a montage of Dalton's greatest hits. Baby Dalton in his private school uniform. Teen Dalton winning sailing competitions. College Dalton at frat parties. I appeared exactly once, in the background of a family Christmas photo, half cropped out. My mother floated through the crowd in her designer dress, touching shoulders and laughing at all the right moments. She stopped near me to chat with some country club friends, acting like I was invisible. "Oh, Dalton's just everything we hoped for in a child," she gushed. "Top of his class, you know. Already has 3 job offers." One of the women noticed me. "And what about your daughter? Is she in school too?" My mother's smile tightened. "Mia went a different route. You know how some kids need to feel independent. We didn't want to waste energy on a phase." I gripped my champagne glass harder, knuckles white. "Mom!" Dalton called out. "Mason's here." Mason Tucker swaggered in, my brother's best friend since prep school. He caught my eye and winked. Little sister, still slumming it with the online classes. "Actually, I graduated," I said. "Oh, right, from that internet thing." He laughed. "Hey, remember when you had that crush on me in high school? That was cute." Before I could respond, my father clinked his glass for attention. The crowd hushed as he began his speech. "When I think about family," he started, "I think about legacy, about investing in the future. Dalton represents everything we've worked for." I slipped away to the bathroom, needing a moment to breathe. In the mirror, I fixed my lipstick with shaking hands. The door opened. "Wendy." "You okay?" she asked, checking her own reflection. "Peachy. Love being reminded I'm the family's failed investment. Come on, you know they're just traditional." "Stop saying that," I snapped. "Traditional families don't drain their daughter's college fund. Traditional families don't ignore their child's graduation. Traditional families don't... Maybe if you'd just done things their way..." "Their way?" I laughed bitterly. "You mean be like Dalton, who got arrested for DUI last year, but Daddy covered it up?" Wendy's eyes widened. "How did you know about that?" "Because I'm the one who paid his legal fees when Dad's credit cards were maxed out. But sure, tell me more about doing things their way." Back outside, Mason was giving a toast. "To Dalton, the only McBride who matters." Everyone laughed. My mother beamed. I watched the projection screen, still cycling through Dalton's greatest moments. In 10 minutes, I could hijack that feed, show them what a real family legacy looks like. Every screenshot, every recording, every moment of casual cruelty they thought I'd forgotten. My phone buzzed. A text from Wendy. "Please don't do anything stupid. They're just proud of him." I looked up to find her watching me anxiously from across the garden. Another text. "You're acting crazy, just like Aunt Charlotte always says." And there it was, the final betrayal. I should have known Wendy would choose their side. She always did. I typed back, "Thanks for the warning. I've got some slides to add to my presentation now." "What presentation?" I didn't answer. Instead, I watched my mother raise another toast to her perfect son, her perfect life, her perfect lies. The projection screen flickered again, showing Dalton's graduation photos. Soon it would show something very different. My phone buzzed one more time. Emerson. "Remember, you're stronger than their opinions of you. Make it count." I smiled, finishing my champagne. The USB drive in my purse felt heavy with 6 years of truth. In exactly 8 minutes, their Pinterest perfect party would turn into something very different. I caught Wendy's panicked look across the garden and raised my empty glass in a mock toast. The show was about to begin. Back at my apartment after the party, I spread everything across my bed. 6 years of evidence meticulously organised in folders. My hands trembled as I opened the first one, labelled financial abuse. My phone rang. Emerson. "How was the circus?" she asked. "Exactly what you'd expect. But I found something interesting on Dad's Google Drive." "Do tell." I pulled up the screenshots on my laptop. "Remember how they said they couldn't afford to help with my education? Look at these bank transfers." "Holy shit," Emerson breathed as I sent her the images. "They moved your entire college fund to some LLC? Under Dalton's name, but wait, there's more." I clicked through more files. Dad's been hiding money in fake accounts for years. Tax evasion, probably. "Mia," Emerson's voice turned serious. "This is bigger than just family drama. Are you sure you want to—" A text notification interrupted us. "Wendy, we need to talk now." "I'll call you back," I told Emerson. Wendy arrived 20 minutes later, looking nervous. Her eyes widened at the evidence spread across my bed. "What are you doing?" she asked. I played her the audio recording from last Christmas. My mother's voice slurred with wine. At least Dalton didn't embarrass us like Mia, online degree, might as well be from a cereal box. "That's private," Wendy protested. "Private like the family chat where they mock my jobs. Private like the emails planning to cut me off." I pulled up more screenshots. "Private like this." It was a text conversation between Wendy and my mother from an hour ago. "Wendy, Mia's acting weird. She mentioned Dalton's DUI. Mom, she's always been unstable. Keep an eye on her." Wendy, "Should we be worried, Mom? Just make sure she doesn't embarrass us again." Wendy's face paled. "I was trying to protect you." "Protect me? Or protect them? You don't understand. Aunt Charlotte called me after you left. She's worried you'll make a scene at the community party." I laughed coldly. "A scene? Like this scene?" I played another recording, my father's voice discussing moving my college fund. "It's better invested in Dalton. He'll actually amount to something." "Stop," Wendy pleaded. "Or this." I pulled up bank statements showing my emergency transfer to Dalton's lawyer. "Funny how they needed my worthless money then." "That's different. He made a mistake. And I paid for it, while they told everyone I was the failure." My phone buzzed. An email notification from my father's shared drive. New password-protected folders. "What's in those?" Wendy asked, peering at my screen. "Let's find out." I typed in his predictable password, Dalton's birthday. Files opened, revealing years of creative accounting. Well, looks like Daddy's been busy." "Mia, please." Wendy grabbed my arm. "Think about what this will do to the family." "Family?" I scrolled through more documents. "You mean the people who treated me like garbage? Who made me feel worthless?" "They're still your parents. Parents don't do this." I showed her a series of texts from my mother to her friends. "At least we have one child who's not a disappointment." Wendy's phone chimed. She checked it quickly, trying to hide the screen. "Let me guess," I said. "My mother." She didn't answer. "Show me." Reluctantly, she turned her phone around. My mother's message glowed. "Keep her calm. We can't have her ruining Dalton's moment. You know how hysterical she gets." "I'm trying to help," Wendy whispered. I started gathering the evidence into a presentation folder. "You can help by leaving." "What are you going to do?" "I'm going to show them exactly how hysterical I can be." I met her eyes, and now, thanks to your betrayal, I have even more material. "You'll destroy everything. They destroyed me first." I opened my laptop, starting to arrange slides. "You should go. I have a presentation to prepare." After she left, I called Emerson back. "You okay?" she asked. "No." I stared at my screen, at years of pain organised into neat little folders. "But I will be. Just remember, revenge feels good in the moment, but consequences build in the aftershock," I finished. "I know, but some things need to come to light." I clicked open a new folder labelled The Truth and began to work. The community party was in 3 days. Time to show my family what their perfect little investment could really do. My phone buzzed one last time. Wendy again. "Please don't do this." I added her betrayal text to the presentation and hit save. "Testing, testing." I adjusted my microphone, recording the voiceover for my presentation. Family. Such a loaded word, isn't it? Some people think it means unconditional love. Others see it as an investment portfolio. The clock showed 3 a.m. I'd been working on this for hours, timing each slide perfectly with my narration. My phone lit up. Wendy again. I ignored it. "When I was 18, I continued recording, "my parents made a choice. They chose appearances over love, status over support, and one child over another. Tonight, I'm making my choice too." A knock at my door made me jump. Who would be here at this hour? "Mia," Wendy's voice. "I know you're awake. Your light's on." I saved my progress and opened the door. "It's 3 a.m. She pushed past me into the apartment. "I couldn't sleep. I saw your car lights on earlier. You've been working on it, haven't you?" "On what?" "Don't play dumb." She spotted my laptop. "The presentation. Show me." "No." "Mia, please, whatever you're planning." "Whatever I'm planning," I laughed. "Like you don't already know. Like you haven't been reporting everything back to my mother." Her phone chimed. She grabbed it quickly, but not before I saw Charlotte's name flash on the screen. "Go ahead," I said. "Tell her what the crazy daughter is up to now." "She's worried about you." "Worried about her reputation, you mean?" I opened my presentation. "Want to see what worry looks like? Here's her worried text from my graduation day. Hope you're not expecting acknowledgement for your internet certificate." Wendy's face paled as I flipped through slides. Screenshots of family chat messages mocking my jobs, bank statements showing my drained college fund, audio clips of my mother's drunken rants. "You can't show this," she whispered. "Watch me. Think about Dalton." "Dalton?" I pulled up his DUI records. "You mean the brother whose legal fees I paid while working 2 jobs? The one they call their only real achievement?" Her phone chimed again. This time she answered. Hi, Aunt Charlotte. Yes, I'm with her. No, she's just working. Nothing to... I understand." I grabbed my phone and started recording her conversation. More evidence. "She's what?" Wendy's voice rose. "No, I don't think we should... Okay, I'll try." She hung up and turned to me. "They're considering legal action if you try anything at the party." "Perfect." I added her warning to my presentation. "That'll make a great closing slide." "You're acting crazy." "There it is." I hit record again. "Say it louder for the presentation, cousin." "This isn't funny, Mia. They'll cut you off completely." "Cut me off from what? The family that already abandoned me, the parents who drained my college fund, the brother who lets them treat me like garbage?" My laptop pinged. New email from my mother. "Wendy tells me you're having another episode. Don't embarrass yourself further." I forwarded it to my presentation folder. "Thanks for the content, Mom." Wendy grabbed my arm. "Stop this, please. I'm begging you." Like I begged them to come to my graduation. Like I begged for explanation when they cut me off. Like I begged for acknowledgement of my degree. "That's different. You're right. It is different." I opened my final slide. "Because this time I'm not begging. I'm showing." Her phone chimed again. She read the message and went white. "What now?" I asked. More warnings about the unstable daughter. She swallowed. "They're moving the presentation setup to tomorrow to prevent any technical difficulties." I smiled. Good thing I'm ready then. "Mia." "You should go, Wendy. It's late and I need to make some adjustments to include tonight's betrayal. I'm not betraying you. I'm trying to help. I played back her recorded conversation with my mother. Her face crumpled. Get out! Please, get out! After she left, I added one final slide to my presentation. Screenshots of Wendy's texts to my mother, time-stamped over years. Every secret shared, every warning given, every betrayal documented. My phone buzzed with a text from Emerson. You okay? Need backup tomorrow? No, I replied. This is something I need to do alone. I looked at my finished presentation. 10 minutes that would shatter their perfect family facade forever. 10 minutes of truth they never expected me to tell. My mother's email notification popped up again. Whatever you're planning, remember, you're only hurting yourself. I hit reply. No, Mother. This time the hurt is all yours. Tomorrow couldn't come fast enough. The community centre ballroom buzzed with expensive perfume and fake laughter. I arrived early, dressed in the same H&M dress from the previous party. My laptop and USB drive felt heavy in my bag. Mia! My father's voice carried forced cheerfulness. Didn't expect you so early. Wouldn't miss it, I said, watching him fidget with his tie. Where's the tech set up? Oh, we've got professionals handling that, he gestured vaguely. No need to concern yourself. I spotted the AV guy by the projection screen, running final checks. Perfect. My mother swooped in, champagne already in hand. Mia, darling, don't you have work today? Took the day off. Wouldn't want to miss another family milestone. Her smile tightened. Yes, well, just remember what we discussed about making scenes, I finished. Don't worry, Mother, everything's going exactly to plan. Wendy appeared, looking nervous. Aunt Charlotte, they need you for the photo arrangements. As they walked away, I approached the AV technician. Hi there, having any issues with the setup? All good, he said, barely looking up. Just standard PowerPoint stuff. I pulled out a $50 bill. My brother wanted me to check something in the presentation. Mind if I... He glanced at the money, then shrugged. 5 minutes. Passwords on the podium note. I plugged in my USB drive, heart pounding. A few quick clicks, and my presentation was embedded within their slideshow, set to trigger halfway through my father's speech. The ballroom filled quickly. Business associates, country club friends, local politicians, all here to witness the golden child's moment. Dalton worked the room like a practiced politician, while Mason trailed behind making crude jokes. Ladies and gentlemen, my father began his keynote speech, today we celebrate not just academic achievement, but family unity. I checked my watch. 3 minutes until showtime. In our family, we believe in investment, in potential, in legacy. 2 minutes. Dalton represents everything we've worked for. 1 minute. And as we look to the future, the screen flickered black. Then my voice filled the room. Allow me to show you what unity has looked like in my family. Gasps rippled through the crowd as my mother's voice played over the speakers. At least Dalton didn't embarrass us like Mia. Online degree. Might as well be from a cereal box. The screen lit up with screenshots, years of text messages, bank statements, email threads. Stop this immediately, my father shouted, but the AV guy was already backing away, hands raised. My narration continued. When I was 18, my college fund disappeared. Want to see where it went? Financial documents filled the screen, showing the money trail to Dalton's LLC. My mother lunged for the power cords, but it was too late. The presentation continued, wireless and unstoppable. And here's what happened when golden child Dalton got a DUI. Police reports appeared, followed by bank transfers from my account to his lawyer. Mia, please, Wendy screamed from somewhere in the crowd. Her betrayal texts appeared next, dated and time-stamped. The audience murmured as they read her messages to my mother, plotting against me. But wait, my voice continued. There's more. Let's talk about tax evasion. My father's face went ash white as his creative accounting appeared on screen. "You ungrateful little—" Dalton started toward me, but Mason held him back. The final slide appeared. My graduation photo, taken by Emerson. Me in my target dress, holding my diploma, alone. "This is what family unity looks like," my voice concluded. "This is what investment in potential looks like. This is what legacy looks like." The screen went black. Silence fell over the ballroom. My mother had collapsed into a chair, fanning herself dramatically. My father stood frozen, his carefully crafted image shattered. Dalton looked ready to explode. I stood up, smoothing my dress. "Thank you all for coming to my graduation party. Sorry it's a bit late. The invitation must have gotten lost in the mail." "Security!" my father finally managed to shout. "No need," I said, picking up my bag. "I was just leaving. Oh, and Dad, the IRS might have some questions about those creative investments. I sent them copies too." Chaos erupted behind me as I walked toward the exit. Guests whispered and pointed. Someone was crying, probably Wendy. Mason was trying to calm Dalton down. But just before I reached the door, a hand touched my shoulder. I turned to face a woman I hadn't seen in years. My Aunt Rachel, my mother's estranged sister. "Well," she said with a slight smile, "you just did what I never could." I looked back at my shattered family one last time, then walked out into the sunlight, head held high. The truth was finally free. The chaos followed me into the parking lot. My mother's theatrical sobs echoed through the building's open doors while my father's voice boomed, "Everyone, please remain calm." "Mia!" Dalton's angry shout came from behind. "You fucking psychopath!" I turned to face my brother, his perfect hair disheveled, face red with rage. Mason flanked him like an attack dog. "What's wrong, brother? Not enjoying your party?" "You had no right!" He stepped closer, finger jabbing the air. "Those were private family matters." "Family?" I laughed. "Since when am I family? I was just the investment that didn't pay off, remember?" "I'm calling the police," Mason announced, pulling out his phone. "Go ahead." I shrugged. I'm sure they'd love to revisit Dalton's DUI case, especially the part where Daddy's friend at the station buried the report. Dalton lunged forward, but Rachel stepped between us. "Touch her, nephew, and I'll add assault charges to the mix." "Aunt Rachel!" He stumbled back, surprised. "What are you— You're taking her side." "There are no sides," Rachel said calmly. "Only truth and lies. Your sister just chose truth." The community centre doors burst open again. My mother emerged, mascara running, supported by Wendy and two concerned party guests. "My baby," she wailed, reaching for Dalton. "Don't let her ugly lies hurt you." "Lies?" I pulled out my phone. "Should we replay the recordings? Maybe the one where you called me an embarrassment, or the email about draining my college fund?" "You ungrateful little—" My father appeared, face purple with rage. "Careful, Dad." I held up my phone. "Still recording, though I suppose the IRS will be more interested in those offshore accounts than your creative parenting." Mason stepped forward, drink in hand. "You're just jealous because Dalton actually made something of himself." The drink flew from his hand, splashing toward my face, but Rachel pulled me aside. The liquid hit a nearby hedge instead. "Real mature," Rachel said. "But what else should we expect from Dalton's drinking buddy? How's that assault charge working out, Mason? The one from that bar fight last year?" Mason paled. "How did you—" "I keep tabs," Rachel smiled. "On everything." My mother had recovered enough to storm over. "You've ruined everything, years of building our reputation." "Your reputation?" I cut in. "You mean your lies? Your perfect family facade? We gave you everything. You gave me nothing. I worked 2 jobs while you funded Dalton's sailing lessons. I paid his legal fees while you told everyone I was spiraling. I graduated with honors while you pretended I didn't exist." Wendy tried to approach. "Mia, please, can't we just—" "Don't." I held up my phone, showing her betrayal texts. Just don't. More guests were filtering out now, phones raised, recording the drama. Perfect. Let them see. Let them all see. You'll never work in this town again, my father threatened. Rachel laughed. No, Victor, you're the one who'll never work here again. Tax fraud tends to make people nervous. Dalton suddenly grabbed my arm. Delete the presentation, now. Or what? I yanked free. You'll tell Mom, Dad, your precious reputation is already shattered, brother. And unlike you, I built my life without their money. I have nothing to lose. But I do, he shouted. Those job offers. We'll probably want to know about the DUI, the buried assault charges, the shell company in your name. I smiled. Karma's funny like that. My mother made one last dramatic attempt. After everything we've done for you. You did nothing for me, I said quietly. And that's exactly what you'll get from me now. Nothing. I turned to leave, Rachel beside me. Behind us, chaos continued to unfold. My mother's sobs, my father's threats, Dalton's curses, Mason's stammered excuses, Wendy's pleas, all of it fading as we walked away. Want to grab a coffee? Rachel asked. I have some stories about your mother you might find interesting. Love to. I glanced back one last time. The perfect family tableau had shattered completely. Guests were leaving in droves, phones out, already spreading the gossip. My father was on his phone, probably calling his lawyer. My mother had collapsed into a decorative chair, still playing the victim. Dalton stood alone, his golden future tarnishing by the second. You okay? Rachel touched my shoulder. Yeah, I said, surprised to find it was true. I really am. My phone buzzed with a text from Emerson. Well, how'd it go? I typed back, the truth is out. And it's beautiful. We reached Rachel's car just as security finally arrived. Too late. The damage was done. The truth was free, and so was I. It's everywhere, Rachel said, sliding her phone across the coffee shop table. Local Facebook groups, Twitter, Instagram, clips from my presentation had gone viral in our community. Local Golden Boys graduation party reveals family secrets. I read from a community news site. Well, that's one way to put it. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing since yesterday. Wendy had sent 30 messages ranging from anger to pleading, how could you do this to us? Everyone's talking about it. Please just tell them it was a mistake. I blocked her number. Your mother's trying damage control, Rachel said, pulling up Facebook. Look, Charlotte's post was perfectly crafted. Regarding yesterday's unfortunate incident, we're deeply concerned about our daughter's unstable behaviour and apparent manipulation of private family matters. We only want what's best for her healing journey. Healing journey? I laughed. That's rich. My phone rang. Emerson. Girl, you're not going to believe this, she said. Remember that writer I told you about, the one who does exposés? She wants to talk to you. About what? Your story. She says it's the perfect example of generational wealth toxicity and family dysfunction. Could be a book deal. Rachel raised an eyebrow at my expression. I put the phone on speaker. There's more? Emerson continued. Your father's company is doing internal audits. Someone anonymously sent them the tax documents. How anonymous? I asked. Rachel winked. My phone buzzed with another notification. A message from Mason. Dalton's losing sponsorship deals. Hope you're happy, you vindictive bitch. I showed Rachel the text. Should I feel bad? About exposing the truth? Never. She reached into her bag and pulled out a thick folder. Speaking of truth, remember how I said I had stories about your mother? The folder was labelled The Truth About Charlotte. What's this? Why do you think I left the family 15 years ago? Rachel opened the folder. Your mother's perfect image. It's older than you think. And I've got receipts going back decades. Photos spilled out. Documents, letters. A whole history of carefully hidden secrets. Holy shit, I whispered, picking up a court document. Mom had another husband? Who she bankrupted and abandoned, just like she did to you, just like she tried to do to me. Rachel spread out more papers. Your mother's been playing this game for years, the golden child routine. Dalton wasn't the first. I was, until I stopped playing along. My phone buzzed again. My father this time. The IRS is auditing us. Fix this or face legal consequences. They're desperate, Rachel observed. Good. Another notification popped up. Someone had posted the full presentation online. The comments were flooding in. This family got what they deserved. Rich people thinking they're above consequences, SMH. That poor daughter. Imagine having parents like that. A new email arrived from an unfamiliar address. Ms. McBride, I'm a producer with a major news network. We'd love to tell your story. It's not going away, I said half to myself. That's the thing about truth, Rachel replied. Once it's out, it tends to take on a life of its own. My phone rang again, Dalton. What? I answered. They're cancelling my job offers, he said, voice breaking. 3 companies pulled their contracts this morning. Are you happy now? Are you sorry? What? Are you sorry for how you treated me, for watching them destroy me, for taking everything while I struggled? Silence. That's what I thought. I hung up. Rachel was watching me carefully. You okay? I thought revenge would feel different, more satisfying. It's not about satisfaction, she said, tapping the folder. It's about breaking cycles. Look what happened when I left. Your mother just found new targets. You. The truth doesn't just set you free, it protects others too. My phone lit up with a text from Emerson. The writer wants to meet tomorrow, says your story could help other people in similar situations. You in? I looked at Rachel's folder, at the evidence of history repeating itself, at the chance to break that cycle once and for all. Tell her I'm in. Rachel smiled, gathering the documents. Ready to hear the whole story about your mother? It's quite a tale. Wait, I pulled out my phone and hit record. Okay, now I'm ready. Outside, notifications kept flooding in. The perfect family facade was crumbling in real time, broadcast across social media for everyone to see. My mother's carefully crafted image, my father's business reputation, Dalton's golden future, all of it unravelling thread by thread. But here in this coffee shop, with Rachel's folder open and the truth finally flowing free, I felt something I hadn't expected. Peace. The revenge was done. The real story was just beginning. To the graduate! Emerson raised her glass, joined by a small group gathered in my apartment. No fancy venue, no champagne fountains, just real people who actually cared. Can't believe you waited this long to celebrate properly, Rachel said, handing me a cupcake with a single candle. Better late than never. I smiled, looking around at the faces that had supported me through everything. Emerson, Rachel, co-workers who'd covered my shifts, even a few online classmates who'd driven in for the occasion. My phone buzzed, another news alert about my father's company. The board had forced him to step down pending the tax investigation. I switched it off. Before we eat, I said, pulling out an envelope, I want to read something. It's a letter I wrote to my younger self this morning. The room quieted. Dear 18-year-old Mia, I began. Right now you're sitting in your car crying because Mum and Dad just told you they won't help with college. You're wondering what you did wrong, why you're not enough, why Dalton gets everything while you get nothing. Listen carefully. You did nothing wrong. You are enough, and you're about to prove it. Rachel squeezed my hand. You'll work 2 jobs. You'll study late into the night. You'll watch your brother get everything handed to him while you struggle. But here's what they don't know. You're stronger than their rejection. You're bigger than their limitations. You're going to graduate with honours, build your own life, and finally tell the truth they tried to bury. Emerson wiped away tears. You deserved better. But you gave yourself enough to survive. And that's worth celebrating more than any fancy party they could throw. I folded the letter. So here's to us, the ones who make it on our own terms. The doorbell rang. I opened it to find a delivery man with a massive flower arrangement. "From Wendy," I read from the card. "I'm sorry, you deserved better. I hope someday you can forgive me." "Are you going to?" Emerson asked. I placed the flowers on my counter. "Maybe. Eventually. But not because they expect it, because I choose to." Rachel pulled out a familiar folder. "Speaking of choices, the publisher loved our pitch. They want both our stories. The generational impact of toxic family dynamics. Your mother's pattern, my escape, your exposure. They're calling it The Price of Perfect." "Fitting," I said, thinking of all the prices we'd paid and made them pay in return. My phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. "Dalton. Got a new phone since you blocked my old one. Mason's pressing charges for defamation. Mum's in therapy. Dad's facing criminal charges. Happy now." I showed Rachel the text. "Consequences," she said simply. "They're not used to having those." I typed back. "Therapy's good. Truth's better. Block this number too." "Hey," Emerson called out, "your story's trending again. Someone made a TikTok about rich family karma." We crowded around her phone, watching the viral video break down my family's fall from grace. Comments poured in from others sharing similar stories of family toxicity and financial abuse. "You started something bigger than revenge," Rachel observed. "You gave people permission to tell their own truths." I lit the candle on my cupcake, thinking about everything that had led to this moment. The years of struggle, the careful collection of evidence, the explosive revelation, the aftermath still unfolding. "Make a wish," someone called out. I closed my eyes, but I didn't wish for anything. I already had what I needed: truth, freedom, and people who loved me for who I was, not what I could give them. I blew out the candle. "This counts," I said aloud, more to myself than anyone else. "I count, and they have to live with that." Rachel raised her glass again. "To telling the truth. To choosing yourself," Emerson added. "To real family," I finished, looking at the faces around me. "The kind you find, not the kind you're born to." My phone buzzed one final time. An email from the publisher. "Contract attached. Your story matters. Let's tell it right." I signed it right there, surrounded by people who'd proven that family isn't about blood or money or status. It's about who stands with you when you're building yourself from scratch, who celebrates your real victories, not just the ones that make them look good. The cupcake candle smoke curled upward, carrying with it the last wisps of my need for their approval, their love, their validation. I was done performing for an audience that never wanted to see me succeed. This was my graduation, my celebration, my truth. And finally, beautifully, completely, my life.